Hello YouTubers, I am Parwiz and this is our third video in Firebase Admin SDK with Python programming language. So in this video we are going to talk about Firebase Admin SDK authentication with Python. So before this we had two videos on Firebase Admin SDK. So the first video was Firebase Admin SDK integration, and also we have talked about real-time database, Firebase real-time database with Python programming language. In the second video we have talked about Cloud Firestore, Firebase Cloud Firestore and Python. So I have added the link of these videos in the description. You can just watch these videos. So now if you see the documentation of Firebase Admin SDK, and in the Auth section you can see there are different features that you can use, but we are going to just focus on some important features. So you can see that it has a complete documentation for Firebase, how you can use authentication using Firebase Admin SDK. So now the first thing we need to just create a new project in Firebase. So now you can just give it a name to your project, whatever you want. So now let me just now I'm going to just give it for example test app, and after creation of my project name so now you can see that this is our project, and if you want you can add this to your Google Cloud platform, and after that just click on continue. So after this we are going to just click on continue, and you can just select an account, default account for Firebase, and create project. Now our project is created. Now I'm going to just click on continue. Okay, now you can see that we have our test app project in here, and the first thing we need to just click on authentication, because we are going to use authentication. I have talked about database and storage. You can just about just database, not storage. So after this we are going to just click on you can just enable sign-in methods, or okay, let me just click on this. And in here we are going to enable this and click on save. Okay, before this I have already talked about the installation of Firebase Admin SDK, but let me just mention this. You can watch the first video for more details. So the first thing you need to install Firebase Admin for Python. You can just see for Python you can use sudo pip install Firebase Admin or pip install. These are the two ways that you can install like this. Now after this you need to just create a credential certificate. So for this you can just go to so this is my project, and you can just click on the settings, project setting, and after that you need to just go to the service accounts. You need to just get the key from the service account for Python. So now okay, now you can see that we have for Node.js, Java, Python. We need just to click on the Python, and now you can see that generate new private key. Let me just click on this. You can see that your private key gives access to your project Firebase services. Keep it confidential and never store it in a public repository. So we're going to just download this. You can just click on generate key and it will be downloaded. After downloading you need to just copy this where your project is located. For example, I'm using PyCharmID and I have created my project, and I will copy that file in here in the project. Okay guys, now I have copied the service account JSON key and I have added to my working directory. Now after this we are going to just import Firebase admin. So sorry, import Firebase admin. After that we are going to just import the credentials. So from Firebase admin import credentials. Also we need to, because we are working with Auth, we need to import Auth from Firebase admin. So like this you can use. Now we need to just create our credentials. So credentials dot certificate, and in here you need to add the file name. So it's Firebase SDK.json. So this is the name. And after this I'm going to just say Firebase admin dot initialize this credential, initialize my app with the specific credentials that I have created. So now after doing this, now we are going to just create user in our Firebase. So let me just create an email in here. I'm going to just say input. I'm going to get the input from the user. So please enter your email address. And after this I'm going to just give a password. So input, and please enter your password. And after this we are going to just say user auth, and you can use create user function or method. So create user, and in here we need to just give the email. So email, and also email, and also password. So password. Let me just create user, email, and also password, like this. Okay, now after doing this we are going to just print user created successfully, and we are going to just print the user ID. So dot format, and we are going to just say user dot UID, like. Okay, now let me just run this, and I'm going to just run this. Or first let me just close this, terminate this, and I need to just make it like this. Okay, now let me just run this. Okay, please enter your email address. You can give a valid email address, and after that you need to just give a password. And now I'm waiting for creating of the user. Now you can see user created successfully, and this is the user ID. And now if I check my Firebase, let me just check this. You will see that I have a user in here. You can see that this is the new user that's created. So now let me just create another user, and okay, now you can also add some more features. Right now I have just added the email and password, but you can add phone number, you can add, for example, display name. I think even you can add profile pic for this profile picture. So for example, let me just add a phone number this time. You can add a phone number in here. So phone number, and you can just give a phone number in here. Like this. Okay, so now let me just first I need to just create this phone number. Okay, now I have already created in here. So now let me just run it again. Okay, now let me just give another email address, and also I'm going to just give a password, for example. Now I'm waiting for the user creation. Okay, now user created successfully, and this is the user ID. Now if I check, refresh this, now you can see that I have a new user in my Firebase users, and you can see that this time I have in here a phone number for the user. So like this you can use different features. So also you can for example, you can get the user if you want. For example, you want to get the user according to email, you can do this. For this I'm going to just comment, or let me just comment this. Okay, so get the user. Okay, first let's just try using email address. So I'm going to just give an email in here. Let me just okay, now you can use user auth dot get user by email, and you need to pass the email in here, and we can just say print user ID is dot format user. Now let me just run this. So we have a connection error, and let me just run it again. So guys, now you can see we have a record, and let me just change this to format, okay, user.uid. And now let me just run this again, and now you can see that this is the user ID. Now also you can use phone number. You can find a user using the registered phone number. You can just create a phone, and you need to just give the phone number in here. So let me just give this, and in here I'm going to just say by phone auth dot get user by phone number, and we are going to just add phone in here. Now let me just copy and paste this, and this time we are going to just say by phone dot uid. So now let me just run this. You will see that we have two different user ID. So the first one is for this phone number, and the second one is for the email address that we have specified. So now you can see that we have a different user ID for our two registered users. Also you can list all the users. For example, if you have more users, you can just easily list them. Right now we have just 2 users we have registered, but maybe you will have more than 100 users. Then how you can list all the users? So you can easily do. So let me just create page, and I'm going to just say auth dot list users, and after this I'm going to just create a while page, and in here I'm going to just create for loop. So for user in page dot users, So right now we have just one page users. Maybe you will have 100. If you see, you can see that right now it's page 1, but maybe you have 2 page, 3 page, or 4 page. Then you can use this will be useful. So after this we can just print our user. So user and user.uid, and also if you have, for example, more pages, you can just get another page. So get next page, and you can just say page dot get next page. Okay, now let me just run this. Okay, now you can see that we have our 2 users in here and we have listed. So sometimes you need to just create user by ID. So right now we have just created user using the default ID, user ID of Firebase. Now if you see in here, let me just bring this, you can see that we have so you can see that this is the user ID. You can change this, you can give your own user ID. Let me just remove this one user. Okay, so now it's removed. Now you can create your own user, create user by ID. So for this I'm going to just copy these 2 from here, email and password. Let me just paste it in here. So this is for the email and this is for the password. Also I'm going to just create an input for the ID. So please enter the ID. Now we are going to just create user auth dot create user by okay, so we're going to just create user, and in here you can specify the user ID. So you can just give UID to ID and email to email. Also we have a password to password, and now we can just say print successfully created new user dot format, and we are going to just add user UID. So now you can see that this time we will have our own user ID. Now let me just run this, and it will first we will add our email address, and after that password, and after that we need to just give our specific ID. So let me just give this email address, and I'm going to just give a password, and after that I need to just give an ID. So let me just give it EBC ID. Now I'm going to just hit enter. So now you can see successfully created new user with EBC ID. So this is the ID that we have given. Now if you check your Firebase and if you refresh, you will see that we have the new user with the ID that we have given. Okay guys, now you can see that the user ID is EBC ID. So also you can do password change. You can get the link for the password change. So let me just show you that how you can do. Okay, now for that let me just create an email in here, and I'm going to just say input please enter your email address, and after that I'm going to just create a link. I'm going to just generate the password reset link. So we can just say auth dot generate password dot generate password reset link. Now in here, the first thing we need to just give the email, and also we need to just give the action code setting. So for this we can just give it none. If you see the documentation for the Firebase, let me just find that. So you can see for the generate password reset link, we need to give email and also action code setting. So you can see the email is the email of the user whose password is to be reset, and the parameters, so we have action code setting. So action code setting instance, so you can see it's optional, defines whether the link is to be handled by a mobile app and additional state information to be passed in the deep link. So for this we are going to just give it none. So let me just copy this and paste this in here like this. Okay, after this we are going to just print the link. Now let me just run this. Okay, now we need to just give the email address in here. So guys, you can see that this is the link that we have received and it's related to the test app. Now if I click on this, you will see that I am receiving a password reset, a link, and you can reset your password. Okay, now you can see, so reset your password, and you can just give the password and you can save that password. So let me just give another and click on the save. Now you can see password change. You can now sign in with your new password. So also you can create email verification link. Now let me just show you. So this is the last feature that we are going to learn, but there is more. You can just check the documentation and you will get more information about these. So I'm going to just copy this too. Let me just copy all and paste it in here. So please enter email address in here, and instead of generate password we are going to just use generate email. So generate email verification link, and you need to give the email and also action code setting to none. And now I'm going to just run this again. Okay, please enter the email address. Okay guys, we have an error, no user record found for the given ID, user not found. So maybe I think I have yeah, we don't have any zero in here, so wrong email address. Let me just run it again. So you can see we have given a wrong email address, but we have received error. So guys, now you can see that we have received the email verification link, verify email, and you can just click on this and you can see your email has been verified. You can now sign in with your new account. So like this you can work with authentication in Firebase Admin SDK. So I will add the source code to the video description. You can get all the source code from my blog codeloop.org. If you have any question, please let me know. For the further videos, subscribe my channel, like the video, and also share the video.